Hello, welcome back if you have visited before, and welcome if you are new to my suburban homestead. Today I thought it would be fun to share a seed haul with you guys. I actually didn't get a lot, but nonetheless I thought it would be fun to show you. And then along with that, when I do get my seeds in, I'm also going to show you how to organize it if that's something that you have been struggling with. I changed the way this year that I store my seeds, and it has been a game changer. So I hope that you find inspiration today from this video. So first up, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my plan for the garden this year. I've mentioned it a little bit in past videos, but we made our garden beds, I think back in 2020. I just remember the lumber prices were really high and just felt defeated that we had to spend all of that money for the garden beds. But I was willing to make that investment because I knew that we were going to get much use out of our garden beds. But here we are, 2024, 4 years later, and we are experiencing rot with our garden beds. Now, obviously, if you're using wood, that is expected to happen. You know, now I've been doing gardening more and more and realize that this is a passion of mine. It is just a fun hobby. It's a way for me as a mother to have that creative outlet, but it also serves our family because we get to grow our own food. I mean, there's a whole lot of benefits to it. Not only that, but I'm homeschooling my daughter, and it teaches her hard work and self-reliance and so many things. So I obviously see the benefits for gardening. I want to continue to do it. So what we're probably going to do is, we are going to build new garden beds, but it's not going to be this year. Just budget wise, it's just not possible. And so if you're in that stage of life too, where you're like, I don't know how I can afford it, but I want to live this lifestyle, I'm right there with you. So I've had to kind of shift gears for this gardening season. I have 4 garden beds. They are going to be just trashed. But I am keeping one up because my garlic, I have kept those garlic cloves, I guess the seeds, for years, and I don't want to lose that. It's got such good memory to it for the zone that I'm in, and so I did plant those out. Those will be harvested in June. And well, I don't know. It seems overwhelming thinking about the changes I'm gonna have to make to the garden, but such is life. So my garden beds are out of the question this year. They're still intact. So I am actually having a hard time parting with all of them. Like I said, one's for the garlic bed, and I might actually use one for onions. But other than that, I've got my front yard and side, like it curves to the side of the house as well. I'm going to experiment with some herbs and flowers, like useful, functional flowers that obviously look good in the neighborhood, but I can use also in the home. So I'm going to start dabbling with flowers for that. I have a space where I had wildflowers, and it was just too small for it. So I ended up pulling those out, which was it was great because it helped with the soil. But now I'm going to put herbs there as well. That's in the corner of our backyard. And it's not a very big space, but it'll be enough space for lots of herbs. So I'm gonna concentrate on that as well as around our chicken run. So last year we did like nasturtium and marigold and sunflower and calendula, and that was really fun, but the sun beats down on the chickens during the hottest part of the day right there. And so I want to be better about growing things that are taller, that will provide shade for them and also are safe. So I guess those are the three spots, right? The front of the house, there's a section for an herb garden in the back, as well as around the run. So I'm going to show you what I got. The first thing in my zone, it's going to have to be grown as an annual, which I was hoping to focus more on perennials this year, but that's okay. This is fun anyway. This is from Renee's garden. It is Zinger hibiscus. We love hibiscus over here. I actually did a tea party way back, I don't know, last year, and we did agua de Jamaica for that because we love it so much. So I thought it would be really fun to grow this in the front. It's really an experimental year for me trying this stuff in the front because it gets afternoon sun. So my front is here. Some of it does get sun, but the north is right here, and I just don't know about how much sun it's going to get. So it's going to be a trial year, and we are going to try hibiscus. This is specifically for tea, and it is from Renee's garden. And then, guys, I didn't get a big haul because I do have stuff already that I have. Let's see. This is a free packet I got from Baker Creek. Lettuce Yeticule. I have no idea how to pronounce it. But this is frost hardy, and around the run I added more garden space, and that space is going to be for greens. This says it's frost hardy, so I'm going to go ahead and probably start these seeds right away. Let's see what else. So this is all from Baker's Creek. Like I said, the garden bed is rotting, but I'm gonna try my onions again. I do love growing onions. This is a new variety for me this year. Apparently, there are like short day onions, intermediate, and long day. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that when I bought onions in the past. I just went for a variety that I thought we would eat a lot, that would be versatile. And it worked. I think I ended up having a long day, but where I am in zone 7B or the latitude, I'm not sure how, I should do more research before I come on here, but this is specific for where I live, and this is an intermediate day type, and I always look at reviews. I look for seeds that have lots of good reviews because I figure those are the easier ones to try. And so I got these onion Australian brown, and so I'm hoping these will do good for me. Like I said, it's a new variety. I think in the past I did yellow of Parma, so we'll see how this does. But that was an onion I got. I'm gonna also try and do 2 rounds of these. So normally I will start these, I need to start these like now, and then I'll plant them before that last frost, just a couple weeks before that. And then I harvest them sometime in the summer. But I don't have enough garden space to grow a year's worth unless I do a couple rounds of this. I can overwinter these where I am from. They are frost hardy, so I think I'm gonna try 2 rounds of these to try and get like a year's worth if possible, because they don't also, some varieties don't store as well as others, so that'll be an experimental year for this as well. But we have some onion, and then around our chicken run, I already mentioned that I want taller plants to provide shade for the chickens. So we have done sunflower. I'm kind of like going back and forth with that. I have sunflower seeds already in storage, so that might be a backup. But what I would ideally like to try are the three sisters along our run. So it's all gonna be tall, it's all gonna provide shade, and it's just good companion planting. So I have not gotten corn yet. That is one part of the three sisters. I would like to get some corn, but I haven't found a variety that I'm in love with yet. But the corn is more like an experimental fun thing to do. It wouldn't be like a year's worth of food for us, but I do want to do corn. I haven't picked that out yet for my seeds. And I also would like to try my pole beans that like run up the corn. And then at the bottom that's kind of like sprawled out, I thought I would do squash. So I decided on honey nut squash from Baker's Creek as well. It's a mini butternut squash, so that's kind of what I wanted with the space that I have outside. And the fruit itself isn't very big. It says 4 to 5 inches long. It's great tasting and had really good reviews. So I'm excited to try this along the chicken run. So we've got the honey nut squash, and this will store really well too. That was a game changer for me last year, concentrating on foods that didn't require a lot of canning. And it just made gardening so much more enjoyable. You know, maybe sometime in the future I'll dabble a little more in that, but I think in this season of life, I've just enjoyed storing things like this rather than canning. Let's see, I only have one more. I'm sorry, you guys. I've already had a lot of stuff in storage that I'm also going to try around here. But the last thing I got, I told you I was doing the herb garden and I want to concentrate on medicinal herbs. So I already had echinacea seeds that I'm gonna try. I had yarrow seeds that are sprouting for me right now as well. What else? I have so much. Chamomile, lavender. I already have things on hand. This is what I didn't have. And I wanted to try mullein, which is really good for coughs. And I went on to Baker's Creek, and I don't know, I hope I can use this medicinally. It doesn't really say anything in the description, but I don't see why not. But it's called mullein. It's Southern Charm, and I thought they were really pretty little flowers, and since I live a little more down south, I thought it was fitting. So this is a perennial in zones 5 through 8. It has tall spires with blooms in shades of dusty rose to buff. So I thought that sounded really pretty. 2 to 3 feet tall, sturdy flower spikes that do not require staking. I think that was a plus for me. And they are pollinator friendly. It says it's a short-lived perennial, but they will reseed. So we are going to try mullein this year as well. And that is it. But before I put these away, I thought I would share how I organize this. So what I would do is I actually have an Excel spreadsheet upstairs. I think it's just Google Drive. And I will go ahead and show you how to do that. But I will take all of the information from the seed packets and put it all down on one sheet. So I'm not constantly having to search like, oh my gosh, when do I do mullein again? Or what's this plant spacing, or you know, all the information that you need. I write it all on one sheet, and I will go ahead and show you that on the computer right here. But that's what I do whenever I get new seed packets in. I will go to that spreadsheet and I will type up as much information as I can from the seed packets, so I can always refer back to it. Once it is entered into the computer, I will put the seeds in storage. So this is the storage I have. Many gardeners who start seeds indoors have an organizer like this. This is nothing new. It's actually supposed to be for photo storage, but again, many people just use it to store their seeds. You can get it off of Amazon, but I believe Michael's has it for cheaper, so I would look there. I think it's around like $14.99. You can get it on sale sometimes, but this is what I ended up getting. And then what's really cool is you have all these little containers within the big container that can house your seeds. Now, I just have this side labeled out. So these are kind of open right now. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. But this was the game changer for me. Before, each container used to be organized by type. So I'd have all my greens in this container, and then in another container I would have all my culinary herbs, and then in another container I might have flowers, and in another container, you know, I have my peppers. You get the picture. But I was always having to look for various things. One, because I didn't have the spreadsheet, and two, I didn't organize it this way until this year. Here's what changed. I now categorize my seeds based on the date that I have to plant them, to start them. So not all of them you are going to start inside. Some of them you are going to direct sow. So I have it specified here. It says direct, and I will plant this in early spring. Then I have another one. This is for direct, and I would plant these seeds 1 to 3 weeks before that last frost. I don't have anything in here that would fit that, but for future, I have a spot for it. And then, this is my big one. This is direct sow. It says after your chance of last frost. This does not tolerate frost whatsoever. So these are all the plants that need to be started after that frost. So everybody has an average last frost date that you can Google. I usually don't go by that because there have been times where I've planted right on that date, and then lo and behold, a frost comes through. It is an average, it's not an absolute. This is the last day of a frost. Stuff happens. So I usually wait like 2 weeks after my average last frost date. So I've got a lot of flowers. Morning glory, zinnia, chamomile, sunflower. All of these are going to have to be started after the last frost. So that is my container for that. And then those are all for direct sow, where you go directly outside, put the seed in the ground, and watch it do its thing. The other category of seeds I have are for planting indoors. So each seed packet will have when you want to start your seeds indoors. So this is not a good example. This mullein says surface sow in spring. So this is not. Squash is not. Onion though is, so on it will have the planting instructions. Usually start indoors 8 to 12 weeks in advance of planting out. So this is like 8 to 10 weeks, or sorry, 8 to 12 weeks before you're around your last frost date. This is frost hardy, so if you get a frost, I mean, it's not a big deal. They're not gonna die. So you could even do it earlier than your average last frost, but 8 to 12 weeks. So I have a bin with any plants that I need to start inside from 10 to 12 weeks. 12 weeks out is like the earliest you would probably see on a seed packet. So it's the earliest I've seen. So I will start there, and I have the dates that correlate with my specific zone for 10 to 12 weeks. And then it's in increments of 2 weeks after that. So this is 8 to 10 weeks with my specific dates. And then this is 6 to 8 weeks. I have 4 to 6 weeks with the dates, and then the 2 to 4 weeks. So after I am done writing all my information on the spreadsheet, I will figure out which one of these containers I need to store it in. So this could go anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks and 10 to 12 weeks. So I'm gonna put this, actually I'm not gonna put it because I haven't put it in my spreadsheet yet, but I will, it will go in here. So what I will do is I will take that seed packet, I will write all the information on the spreadsheet, and then I will store it in the dates that correlate with when I want to start it. So now this is like, it's so cool. So now I go, okay, January 25th through February 8th. This is my first container of seeds. I go, okay, as time of filming this, it is January 31st. So I can plant any of these today if I wanted to. So I have from now till February 8th. And now I don't have to constantly, okay, get this one from the herbs, get this one from the greens, they're all in one container. And that has been the best thing for me. It's more efficient, and I highly recommend you guys try it as well. So, oh my gosh, my dryer's going off. You probably can't hear it. I'm not sure if you hear it, but anyways, that was kind of fun to visit and talk about the seeds that I got. I would love to know in the comments below, did you guys get any seeds? I have a few blog posts and videos that kind of go along with today's video as far as like what supplies I use. Maybe you want to create a garden bed. Maybe you want to build a garden bed. How do you even start seeds indoors? I have, like I said, this is a passion of mine. So I have blog posts and former videos that I have done on all of those sorts of topics. So I will go ahead and post all of those in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And again, comment on some of the seeds that you plan on growing. I am specifically on a suburban homestead. I don't have a lot of space to work with. So if you're in the same boat as me, I would love to hear the kind of tips and tricks that you also do to, you know, save on space, but also get a high yield on your gardening plants. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.